I'm Mattison Carter. I'm the HR manager here at JCM Industries. Most of our employees, knock on wood, are pretty healthy. This was the first one where it was like a massive surgery.
I'm Michael Herron. I am a supervisor of client reimbursement advocacy at Imagine 360. The facility would not agree to bill the insurance, while the provider would for their services. Her original quote was $432,800, and the facility wanted 75% of that total, which was $324,000 and change. When our department is involved in cases, we step between the members and the facilities in order to alleviate disruption or any type of out-of-pocket expectations for the member.
When we found out about the cost, I immediately thought, like, there's no way, like, this is astronomically high. Our premiums have stayed the same for employees over the last 4 to 5 years. With a claim like that, it would have taken a major hit on not only the member now, but every other employee that's on our insurance in the next year and coming years when our rates increased. I immediately picked up the phone and called Andy, and I was like, hey, we've got to do something about this.
I'm Andy Jackson. I'm a senior benefits consultant with Gallagher. You see a surgery that's potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars, we're like, okay, we thought it was our job to roll up our sleeves and go to work. We had a call where we had the whole team come together and start talking about options of this. And we wanted to go look and start shopping for different pricing models to see, is this a valid claim?
We always compare the codes that are going to be billed to the Medicare rates. Medicare would have covered $30,000. We would have covered $36,000. So compared to $324,000, we're looking at, give or take, about $300,000 more.
One of the first things that we did is we went back to the member talking to them about the cost of the procedure. You've just got to be very candid in saying, hey, here's what we're doing. We know you're going to have the surgery. We want you to have the surgery, but we're just trying to control the cost not only for you, but for your employer so that it doesn't affect the future of the plan as well.
The member did not want to get rid of their surgeon. Once we figured out that the surgeon could perform the surgery at another facility, he looked into scheduling it there and was able to schedule it 3 days after the original surgery date.
Knowing that our employee was able to walk away without having to pay a dime and could solely focus on his wife's recovery was the best feeling in the entire world.
JCM had to cover the Medicare plus 20%, which was the $36,000.
Obviously, this type of case can affect a plan. It can affect it long term, especially if that member is going to remain on the plan. But it's also going to affect the reinsurance and that agreement and that renewal, which is going to affect all the other members in the year to come. So, this was not even a hit against the employer's liability. The employer was able to keep this into their world and not into the reinsurance world.
I think it's fantastic to have a broker like Andy. As soon as I picked up the phone, he felt the same sentiment that I did, that we've got to do something, or this employee's and every other employee on our insurance is going to feel this hit down the road.
I was very impressed with the team at Imagine 360 because every time we had a call, some of these calls we had 10 to 12 people from different departments, on these calls, and everybody saw this through start to finish.
I think if this member would have been covered under a BUCA plan, there wouldn't have been any negotiations. The member would have had their financial part and the employer would have had theirs. There wouldn't have been any changing it or lowering it or anyone to call to even kickstart that process.
This case makes Imagine 360 different because we're so personalized, because the member received bad news one day and then on that same day, they received a call from an advocate. We were communicating on their behalf and we were able to get them scheduled, moved to another facility, and she was able to have her surgery in a timely manner.